Time for another video practicing for the trip across Onondaga County, Onondaga to Genesee County. This one will be going from Silver Springs around the outside of Silver Springs. Instead of going out one road, we'll go out the south and around to head to Perry. We'll be going on Westlake Road, showing the Silver Lake as best as you can see it from Westlake Road. Going through Perry, showing a little bit of Perry, and showing the roads heading over to Mount Morris, and then a little bit in the village of Mount Morris, which is in Livingston County. This will show the village of Silver Springs, town of Gainesville, town of Castile, village and town of Perry, town of Leicester a little bit, and hills in the distance that are various other towns, including Mount Morris, all the way down several counties. You can see in distance you can see the valley, which goes down to the Swain ski slopes, which is in Allegheny County. So yeah, let's watch this traveling. Alright, here we are going south out of Silver Springs. To our left is Morton Salt, the street over to Morton Salt. To the right, trucks parked there to wait to go to Morton Salt. And that garage on the left is no longer a garage. It hasn't been used as a garage for a long time. There's a guy that lives in the apartment. Now through here, there's pipes that go underground that take water out to the salt deposits and brine back to Morton Salt. To the left, that apple orchard is used mainly for apple blossom honey. The couple that lives there sells apple blossom honey. We're just outside the village of Silver Springs. In a moment, we'll be turning from NY 19A, which runs from New York 19 2 miles north of. I'm sitting in Mount Morris while I'm recording the voiceover, and some guy in a diesel decided he had to floor it. New York 19A goes from New York 19 2 miles north of Silver Springs all the way down to Fillmore, where it rejoins 19. Going down Barber Road, we go between a couple fields here, which is the common thing in New York State. This is what New York is. It is a farming state. It is not a city. Crossing the Norfolk Southern Tier line, to our left is the entrance to Indec, which is a power plant using, I believe it's steam generation. And there was also off to our left is a service area for the NYPA natural gas pipeline. The pipeline crosses through that field on our left. I'll be jumping ahead to the hill that's way off in the distance. This is a nature preserve with a large pond that is the beginning of, well, not really the beginning of Wolf Creek. Wolf Creek actually begins in Silver Springs, but a lot of people think that that's the beginning of Wolf Creek. So here we have Weaver Road. We have fields on both sides. I'm sitting right on Main Street, Mount Morris, so you're going to hear traffic going by. There's nothing I can do about that. I want to get this video done. Coming up, there's a dead-end road off to our left, and then a Gamble Wharf barn. This used to be a farm. It's not really anymore. They might have some animals, but I don't know. Then there's another gambrel roof barn at another place that used to be a farm. These small farms are pushed out by the bigger farms, which you'll see in later on in this video. It's one of the bigger farms. We're approaching Silver Lake Road. We go through the swamp on Weaver Road. Sometimes there's more water than others. There's quite a bit of water here this time. Then we'll be crossing over the pipeline and then the railroad bed. This is Chase. It's no longer a community really. It used to be a larger community with a school and more houses, and that little garage was the passenger station. And now on to the next clip. Here we're going along West Lake Road. In a little bit you'll see Silver Lake off in the distance. Trying to hold the phone as still as I can. Beyond that field, beyond those trees is Silver Lake. It's a approximately 2 mile long, half mile, maybe mile wide lake. In a quick second, we'll see Silver Lake State Park. It's off to our right, but the entrance is right here. And there it is. Now back facing front. That's a boat storage place. They store boats there in the winter. And we're passing YMCA Camp Huff. And there's Silver Lake. Silver Lake is frozen this time of year. There are people out there ice fishing. Excuse me. You might be able to see some little ice fishing tents out there. There's a private road. There's lots of houses along Silver Lake. Some of them are seasonal. Some of them are year-round. Silver Lake has a part-time home of the actor Kirk Cameron. It is somewhere around the lake, around the lake. I know where it is. Many of the people around here know where it is, but we never will say. We'll never tell you. You come up to us asking where he lives, we won't tell you. Here's something for you, James. This is the golf course. Silver Lake Golf Course. That's a public road that goes down. Inhaled something. The golf course is the site of another one of those rural water sources. There's a pond in the golf course that has a dry hydrant in it that comes off on the road over farther. That's the road down to the country club. And then we have some fields across the fields. Beyond those trees, there you can see the lake just barely again. It's difficult getting a place that you can actually see the lake, especially in the winter when it's frozen and it's just gray and it looks kind of like a field off in the distance. We're coming up to an intersection. This is West Lake Road, Owatka Road, and Bacon Road. Quick glance to our left, that concrete barrier. A couple of years ago, some guy came flying up Owatka Road to our right, came right up there and broke that barrier in two. And that's just a short section of the road. Don't know how he got going that fast, but yeah, he broke it right in two. Either two or three pieces. There's a field looking across to the lake. We're coming down to the outlet, or the inlet, I mean. Silver Lake has its outlet and inlet at both ends, at the same end of the lake. And we're looking out over the lake at off in the distance. You can see a little spit of land beyond those trees. That's where the ice company was. They used to cut ice out of Silver Lake back in the day. That's been gone a long time. That burned down. Here we're running into the village of Perry, and we'll go to a map and trace the route. Now here we'll follow on Google Maps. We went 23 to 3, and then up to 7, and then 3 again. On past the Silver Lake Marine, the club at Silver Lake, and there's the golf course. Then across 30, and into Perry, and then after this we'll be going out 39 past Old Acres Farm. There's Old Acres Farm, and then that road is County Line Road. And then we'll be going into Mount Morris and going to downtown Mount Morris. Here we have the Village Park, one end of it. It's a rather large park, which you'll see in a map in a moment. It has a splash park, wooden playground over there and such. Here's the Village of Perry, and we are there at the Perry Village Park, right about where my finger was. Now we've came up Westlake Road, trying to get it to focus. It doesn't keep going a little bit out of focus. Past the golf course, there's Club Road to the intersection with Awatka Road, and then we came in north end of the lake to the Village Park. There's the community of Silver Lake, community of Fairview. There's the scale miles. Now we're going to be leaving the Village Park. Down that street is where some of the knitting mills were. That was Champion. That was where they were served by the railroad. Coming in Lake Street, approaching Federal Street. And then we'll be meeting up with Route 246, also known as Center Street. Veering to the left at this intersection is Lester Street. Veering to the right is Lake Street, and 246 is basically a T. 246 goes off down that way. That's Crosby's, the gas station, the 24-hour gas station in Perry. All right, in this clip, we have left the gas station. We're on Lester Street, just crossing Covington. A little bit of trouble holding the camera still here. That building you see off to the left on top of the hill is the former school. The school built a new building, and that is now the center, which is a huge apartment building. The gray building, the gray church to the left, is a Catholic church. That one to the right is the Baptist church. And that was one Catholic church. It's now two Catholic churches. The Polish Catholic Church merged in with there. Now, when we get to the end of this street, a little bit personal here. This is North Main Street, also known as New York 39. Those two houses down there were on the soap opera General Hospital. They filmed an episode in this area a long time ago. That blue house, the bungalow, is a house that my mom and I almost bought a few years ago. But that teal house and the gray one next to it were on the TV series General Hospital. They also filmed in Letchworth Park. I've never seen the episodes. Down there, that building down there is apartments. It was the Perry Knitting Company. That closed down, and most of the buildings down there are gone. This is a residential areas heading out of Perry. That's an old car dealer. It's been empty for a long time. Now there is the main plant of Champion. That was Champion. It is now, once again, Nut Butter, and there's a couple other businesses in there. Cintas, the uniform people, at least used to be out of there. The building with all the doors is the new bus garage. Here we're outside of the village of Perry, heading on Route 39, New York 39, towards Leicester. You have farmers' fields, a house, rolling hills, not very many buildings, lots of trees. This is typical New York scenery. This is also the scenery you can see in Ohio, Pennsylvania, but this is you'll see all the way across the state. We were coming up to a farm. Off there is a pond that is another water source for firefighting. There is a pipe in it so they can quickly hook up hose to fill tankers to fight a fire. There's one cow barn. This is actually, it probably will seem to you, James and Millie, as a large farm. This is actually one of the smaller farms in the area. There's a couple more barns on the other side of the road that I did not record, but this is actually a small farm compared to most of the farms in Wyoming County and the state of New York. Now looking ahead, we're coming up to the Livingston County line, still on New York 39. We're going to be turning onto County Line Road, and at that point, I believe I ended the footage just after that. I might have paused it to do. I think, yeah, I did end this footage will end shortly, but that green sign is Livingston County line, and this is County Line Road. We're turning south on that, and see you in the next clip. Here we are coming into Mount Morris. I skipped quite a bit of recording. Skipped High Banks Road, Gibsonville Road, and others. This is the Park Road that you would go up that hill to go into the Mount Morris entrance of Letchworth State Park, which is the farthest north entrance. Here we are on Route 36. We've already turned the corner on the 36 and we're approaching the Genesee River. There was a power generation station. This is where the village of Mount Morris gets their water. Their water comes out of the river here, and that bridge is a newer bridge. There used to be a railroad bridge there. The abutments were all that was left, and then they put that bridge in there for hikers and snowmobiles and ATVs to get across the river without going onto the road bridge. That, however, can handle vehicle traffic, can withstand the weight of a large pumper tanker, Mount Morris's largest truck. We're coming up the hill into downtown Mount Morris, where the business district is, and we'll see some buildings in Village Mount Morris. Here, I'm sitting in the truck. I had the window open because I didn't want too much. Didn't want somebody interfering with me. There's buildings across the street and down the street, and that will conclude this video. Hope you enjoyed, James and Millie. Watch next time.